The old farmhouse stood as it always had, nestled among the rolling hills, its white paint weathered by time. The family gathered here every year for Thanksgiving, a tradition that had been kept alive for generations. This year was no different, except for the unspoken weight that hung in the air. Cars pulled up one by one, and familiar faces stepped out, their smiles tinged with sadness. The crisp autumn air was filled with the scent of fallen leaves and the distant echo of children's laughter, but there was an unmistakable heaviness in the atmosphere. As they greeted one another with hugs and murmured words, all eyes seemed to avoid the front door, where an empty chair had been set out on the porch, a silent reminder of the loved one who wouldn't be joining them this year. Inside, the house was warm and inviting, filled with the smells of roasting turkey, baked apples, and cinnamon. The dining room was set as it always was, with the long wooden table covered in a white lace tablecloth passed down through the family for decades. Each place was carefully arranged with silverware, plates, and glasses, but at the head of the table, one chair remained empty. It was the chair where Grandpa used to sit, his presence once the anchor of these gatherings. Now it stood as a stark symbol of his absence. The family busied themselves with preparations, trying to fill the silence with small talk and laughter, but their eyes often drifted to that empty chair. Memories of Grandpa filled their minds, his booming laugh, the way he would carve the turkey with such precision, his stories that brought the room to life. The memories were bittersweet, bringing both comfort and pain as they faced the reality that he was truly gone. As everyone took their seats, the mood grew more somber. The youngest member of the family, little Emily, hesitated by the empty chair. She was too young to fully understand why Grandpa wasn't there, but old enough to feel the sadness that permeated the room. Her mother gently guided her to her seat, brushing away a tear as she did so. The family joined hands for grace, and for the first time, no one knew what to say. The silence was heavy, the absence of Grandpa's deep voice palpable. Finally, Grandma, with her eyes glistening, spoke in a trembling voice. She thanked everyone for being there and for helping her through the hardest year of her life. As she spoke, the reality of the loss hit everyone anew, and tears began to flow freely around the table. After dinner, when the plates were cleared and the room had quieted, Grandpa's eldest son stood up, holding a glass of wine in his hand. His voice was thick with emotion as he raised the glass in a toast to the man who had shaped their lives in so many ways. He spoke of Grandpa's strength, his kindness, and his love for the family. He recounted stories that made everyone laugh through their tears. Stories of fishing trips, late-night talks on the porch, and the way Grandpa had always made them feel safe and loved. As he finished, the family raised their glasses in silence, each lost in their own thoughts of the man they had lost. The toast was both a tribute and a farewell, a way to honor Grandpa's memory, while acknowledging the void his absence had left. As the night drew to a close, the family lingered in the living room, not wanting to leave the warmth of each other's company. They shared more stories, flipping through old photo albums that captured the many years of happiness they had spent together. The empty chair had been moved to the corner of the room, but it still drew their eyes, a silent sentinel of their grief. Grandma sat quietly, holding one of Grandpa's old sweaters in her lap, her fingers tracing the worn fabric as if she could still feel his presence. The house was filled with love, but also with an undeniable sense of loss. The family knew that the empty chair would always be there, a reminder of the man who had been the heart of their gatherings. As they said their goodbyes and prepared to leave, each person paused by the chair, some placing a hand on it, others whispering a silent goodbye. The night ended with a sense of peace, tinged with the sadness of knowing that life would never be quite the same again.